LiveChat out here in Mount Hood, Oregon. Hope everyone out there is doing well. Today I was up on the mountain getting some laps in. Incredible day, really nice and warm up there, slushy snow. The park crew up here at Timberline does an incredible job taking care of it. So I'll be on here for the next hour, talking to you guys, answering any of your questions, hanging out, and yeah, let's talk about snowboarding. Hit me up with anything if you guys want to know about gear. I was out today actually making a review of my board here, the K2 After Black. So a review on the park board coming soon. And yeah, just having a blast out here in Oregon. But yeah, let's see who's on the chat. We got Alina Zinchenko is already on the chat. What's up, Elena? We got Kay. We got Day Job Shredder saying what's up. What's up, Day Job Shredder? Justin Visey is on here. We got Heli is up. Yo, what's up, man? Luke Hayes saying good morning. Good morning, Luke. Kay says, where is a good place to buy summer snowboard clothing? Like long sleeve shirts, maybe. What's material to look for? Yeah, that's a good question. So, I mean, I feel like the best way to do it is to try on a few different things. So like I always just try on a couple different long sleeves, because I mean, even if it is like says it's going to be a comfortable material, you really want to make sure that it's like, the thing I always go for with like shirts or anything is like comfort. So just try on a few different shirts. I picked up like usually if you like search snowboard or like skateboard shop in your town, you'll come up with something. You can also like, there's some online shops like backcountry.com, evo.com. But yeah, you can also just look in your local like skate or snowboard shop. But I just picked up like a long sleeve button-up shirt. Actually, I can check what material it is right now. And it was like pretty comfortable out there today. But yeah, you definitely want something with long sleeves to protect you from the sun, and if you like go down in the snow. So this one, so I got this shirt right here, long sleeve button up, RVCA. It's like a surf skateboard brand. Actually, I can't see where it says the material, but it's like a very like soft, breathable. That's what you want to get. I think the most important is going to be breathable. Kay says, do you care about UPF protection? What is that? What is UPF? Yo, we got Emotion SLB on here. We got Gaza's on here. We got Shot Piggies up on here. Michael Langford. Yeah, Michael was up chatting with your son. Yeah, it's good to see him out here. Man, yeah, Mount Hood, this whole area is just, it's so cool because it feels like the whole like snowboard community kind of comes out. So if anyone that's like into snowboarding, everyone shows up. So super fun place to be out here, and yeah, running into people, chatting, hanging out. It's awesome. We got Marcin on here. Yeah, it'd be great to know where everyone is watching from too. So let me know in the comments where you guys are watching from. Quick shout out too to everyone who's a member here at Snowboard Pro Camp. If you want to support the channel, there's a couple ways you can do it. Subscribing is an awesome way, watching the videos of course, but also if you become a member, so there's like a join button, and if you become a member, awesome way to support the channel. And you also get access to the bonus live chat that I do right after this one. So if you guys want to talk snowboarding more, definitely hit up that join button, become a member, and yeah, get access to some of the exclusives. The Emperor says, hi Kev, which would be better bindings to use with a shadow band, Jones Mercury or the Rome Katanas? Man, I don't know. I've never ridden the Shadow Band. What board is that? The Shadow Band. Sounds pretty cool. Shout out to the DWCP crew. Yeah, I hope the connection is good. Yeah, maybe let me know, guys, how the connection is up here. Day Job Shredder wants to know, is a split board necessary to backcountry snowboard, or is it a preference thing? I mean, it kind of depends. If you're doing like proper backcountry stuff, a split board definitely makes everything easier. Instead of having to carry your board, you've got it on your feet. The split board, like walking through deep snow, definitely keeps you more on top of the snow, making that easier. There are certain circumstances where I found that snowshoes actually work better. But in deep snow, snowshoes are definitely worse, where the split board's better. So sometimes it kind of depends on what you want to do. If you're like going out on a regular basis, going through some deep snow, into the alpine, then definitely a split board is probably the best way to go about it. You can also do, if you do pick up a split board, definitely do an AVI course as well. That'll like give you all the tools for AVI safety. Yeah, we got Marcin watching from Poland. What's up, Marcin? Okay, says UPF, ultraviolet protection factor. Apparently different than SPF. I mean, I definitely do worry about that. Like in my sunscreen, I'm definitely putting on lots of like sunscreen through the day. And then also, I mean, clothing wise, I think like as long as your clothes are like thick enough, you're gonna be protected. I know that on some like surf shirts, they have special things on them to kind of protect you. But apparel wise, like clothing wise, I feel like most stuff is gonna protect you from the ultraviolet. But yeah, definitely in my sunscreen, I'm making sure it's like at least a 50 and putting it on quite frequently. We got Thomas watching from Melbourne, Australia. The Emperors is from New York. Michael is a local, awesome. Jeff's watching from Beaverton, Oregon. Carrie Pierce is on here from Australia. Justin Vizey's in LA. Heading to Mammoth, awesome man, have a good time. Yep, Marcin is watching from Poland near the border of Belarus, awesome. All right, and Mr. Bush Wookie says the connection is great, watching from Utah, logging in from Utah, amazing. The Emperors wants some training tips on Euro carving. Yeah, that'd be super fun. I definitely need to get some firmer snow. I think like spring conditions are it's probably too soft for some Euro carves, but if I'm in the right location with the right snow, we'll definitely get some Euro carve videos out. That's something I'd need to definitely work on as well. Tristastic wants to know, did you ever stop at Meadows this year? So I haven't ridden at Mount Hood Meadows. I know that that's the spot in the winter, but I usually show up at Mount Hood kind of in May, and May is kind of around when Meadows closes to ride here at Timberline. So unfortunately, I keep missing out on the Meadows days. The Emperor says, "Dan, Kevin got a serious sunburn. Did I? I don't think so. Do I have a sunburn? I better not have a sunburn. I've been putting sunscreen on all day." How's my, yeah. All right, maybe actually I'll put on some sunscreen. I've got some right here. Actually, I should be okay. Maybe I'll swap over to my hat. That'll protect my cheeks. 1 second. All right, here we go. Fix the hair. There, the brim will help me. Deceitful Destiny says, do you change your stance angles at all? Was there a period of time when you were learning where you did posi? I've never ridden just all positive angle before. I've had some friends try it out. Like I think Chris Ayers was telling me that he set his board up positive at some point and he really liked it. But I mean, for park riding, I'm usually riding at plus 15, negative 15. And then for like a POW day where I'm only gonna be riding directional, that's when I'll do like plus 18 and like negative 9. I've never done like I've never gone full positive. The Emperor says, your lower part of your neck is ghost white. Neck inch up is red as heck. Oh, it's a little bit. How's it looking there? I think it's not too bad. It's a little red. Okay, you got me paranoid. I'm putting some sunscreen on. All right, 1 second. Okay. All right, I just loaded up with some more sunscreen. I mean, I don't really tan. I just get a little red. Thomas says, what is your opinion on Stomp pads? Are they worth getting? Yeah, for sure. I feel like it kind of depends. Like for me, I don't use a Stomp pad, but I feel like beginner intermediate rider, then a Stomp pad's really going to help you, mainly for getting off the chairlift, or if there's any areas where you have to do 1 foot riding, then a Stomp pad's really going to help. We got Rob Gams in the chat. What's up, Rob? Justin, if you're carving free riding, then posi definitely helps. Does it make your board a little surfier on the tail? Is slush good to learn when to apply hard pressure? Is slush good to learn when to apply hard pressure on the nose/tail? Is softer to fall on? Yeah, definitely. Like at the moment, these like soft slushy conditions definitely really good for if you have any falls. Although I did have one fall today and I'm a little bit sore from it. Oh, kind of right here on my chest. So you still can hurt yourself. But yeah, I mean, it depends. But for some places, if you want to get into butters and things like that, places where it's not overly slushy, but just a little bit soft, it can definitely make it easier for learning that kind of stuff. Same if it's just like areas that are a bit more flat, like flat areas, it's a bit more chill too. Mr. Bush Wookie says, what's it like to board in the summer? Warm, snow conditions similar to spring skiing? Super jealous. Yeah, it's very unique. It's like a thing on its own. You definitely have to get used to like just how to dress for the mountain. So dressing a lot lighter, and the difference in the snow, how to ride the slushy stuff. But then also, yeah, it's just a different thing. There's much more of a focus in the spring, summer on like park riding because you don't get those like powder days. But yeah, it feels good. It feels really good, especially like if you're in a place where there's like a really good vibe happening, like here at Timberline at Mount Hood. It's like, it feels like there's a good community of riders. So, I mean, it feels kind of special, but unique too. Not like, it feels very different than snowboarding in the winter. It really affects your legs too. It's like a lot more work on your legs compared to winter riding. The Emperor says, welcome to the club, Kev. I go from Casper the Friendly Ghost 1 second to Arnold in Total Recall the very next. Oh, does his face go red in that? The Emperors, it's weird as heck to see people skiing in only their boxers. I mean, there was one dude out there in like short shorts today, so that's a thing. Brett says, Kev, any pond skim videos coming up? Yours from a while back was sick. Yeah, that pond skim video I did with TJ back in, I think it was like 2019, Spring Whistler. That was for sure one of my favorite pond skims. Honestly, there's like no pond skims up here at the moment, so kind of missing out on the pond skim. If anyone knows of a pond skim in the Oregon area, let me know, because it would be incredible to hit up a pond skim. Justin says, Kev, you might want to stay a little south next year. Seems like El Nino is better for those southern resorts. Oh, wow. Yeah, I might have to. I mean, had such a great time at Lake Tahoe, and I feel like there's still a lot more to explore. So maybe we'll have to go back. Maybe go further south, maybe to Mammoth, or I don't know. Yeah, the south is where it's at. You got the sun, mountains are good, snow's good. Lots going on. Yeah, Justin, I'll let you know. I think I'm going down to Mammoth the first couple weeks of June to ride with TJ. So, Justin, if you're around then, I might see you at Mammoth first couple weeks of June. Always wanted to go to Hood. Used to compete slopestyle in North Idaho. Awesome. No way. Where did you ride in northern Idaho? But yeah, Mount Hood in the spring, summer is such the spot to be, especially if you're, I mean, if you used to compete, it's never too late. You can always come back out here and get some turns in. It's super fun. Jacob says, did you ever try a tame dog again this season like you did in the 2021 season? I tried a couple times and I didn't land any, but I didn't really give myself a fair chance. You definitely need to have like I didn't session anything. I think if I had sessioned some stuff, that would have given me the time I needed to get some tame dogs around to the feet. But next season.
Where you coming from? That's sick. My buddy's from. He's going over right now.
All right. Yeah, shout out to everyone who hopped on the chat. Let's see if we can get the likes up a little bit. Justin says, yeah, dude, hit me up when you guys head to Mammoth. What dates are you guys heading there? So I think I'll be in Mammoth the first 2 weeks of June. I don't know the exact dates, but it's about somewhere within the first 2 weeks. But yeah, oh yeah, if you guys are interested too, I just talked to I'm riding with High Cascade again this summer, and they've just opened up session 3 for adult campers. So if you guys want to come out and get some laps with me, be part of a clinic, and you want to do some summer snowboarding, you can now sign up for session 3 with the promo code SPC 2023, and that like unlocks a whole list of things to do at camp. So if you want to come snowboard with me this summer, I'll put a link in the description for you guys to check that out. And yeah, what else is going on? So yeah, gonna be out here at Mount Hood for the next couple weeks. Yeah, super fun. I got a bunch of videos coming. The other day I actually made a video with a local like mobile tuner. So a dude that does he does some tuning out here. And yeah, that video is coming soon. I've got a video about riding in slush coming, like on the way. Yeah, a bunch of different videos. So stay tuned for that.
Oh, they're little mini John.
Yeah. Yeah, they just fucking beer, dude. Yeah, we got on the plane. Really? All right.
Rob Gam says thought on high back rotation.
Flying back to Michigan.
Do you do it? Yeah, I mean, I've like rotated my high backs in the past, but I've kind of gotten lazy as of late and haven't done it so much. So you can definitely like rotate your high backs so that your high back like matches the angle of your board's heel edge. But I haven't done it recently, and I haven't really missed it. So I don't know. I'm sure maybe it does give some benefit, but I haven't been doing it. Just doesn't make enough of a difference to me, I don't think.
That's like Sam's, you like zebra.
Oh man, dude.
You, Nancy.
I mean, that's my little diet. Not like, okay, I make it. You whip this bitch all the way in here?
Not
Yeah, thanks Grant Bayer. Always appreciate the content.
You come over for a
Sweet,
month?
thanks Grant. Appreciate you, man.
Could have bought one. Yeah. You wanna spend
All right, looks like Justin may be able to come out to Mammoth for a few days. That'd be awesome to see you out there, man.
me, like, I'm trashing it. Yeah.
The Emperors, what is the benefit of rotating the high back?
Yeah, no.
So basically,
Dude, you got it.
it's like when you're using your high back, when you're like leaning back on that heel edge. So if you rotate them to really like match the angle of your board, then you're just like, I guess, pushing on the high back a bit more effectively. You're not kind of pushing on like an angle of it or just like half of it. So yeah, I guess it's like, it's a thing. If you have if your binding is really angled out, say like at 18, that means that the high back is also going to be kind of on an angle, and so you can kind of like just rotate it around, and I guess catch more of the back of your kind of ankle area there when you push it back. So I mean, I guess in theory it works, but it's, I don't know. I guess it does work, but I haven't done it personally in the last little while. Okay, it says Mount Bachelor is still open. I think they do. I think Mount Bachelor is still open. I think they might have a pond skim out there as well. It'd be super fun to hit up Mount Bachelor. I should check if it's still open. We got NGen in the chat. What's up, NGen? Justin L600, what's up? Rob Gam's favorite technical outerwear brand. To be honest, I don't really have one. Yeah, I mean, I think they all do it pretty well. Some 686 stuff, Falcom, TJ Board Archive does a really good technical hoodie. So yeah, there's lots of good stuff out there. Kay says, annual North America Pond Skim Championship happening May 28th at Mount Bachelor. Okay, so I need to go there then. I gotta look into that. May 28th, Mount Bachelor. It's only like 2 hours from here, I think.
It's hilarious because they just create a football.
Rob Gam says Mount Bachelor is still open, 3 lifts, lots of terrain this time of year. That's amazing. Yeah, they're having a long season. Billy Bird, what board would you recommend for bombing hills? I mean, if you're bombing hills, you want something a bit stiffer. So I would definitely go for, check out a stiffer board with some positive camber. It's going to give you the stability for bombing those hills. Is there much difference in terms of feel between a 253 waist width and a 258 waist width board? I mean, you might feel a little bit of the difference when you're going edge to edge. Like it's maybe not going to happen as quick. But for me, like I'm riding a wide park board this year, and it's like much wider than the regular width board. But I'm really used to the edge to edge speed on it now. It doesn't feel like it's like slow or anything. I think it just takes a little bit of getting used to. I guess the biggest difference is that if you have big feet, like size 10 boots and over, and you have a regular width board, then that's when you can start to catch, drag your heels or drag your toes. So you may be faster edge to edge, but you're going to be catching more often. Where with a wide board, you may not be quite as nimble, but you're going to have more stability because you're not dragging your toes or heels. But I think that change in like getting used to the width, I think once you get used to it, you won't even notice. So, I mean, you can go too wide, and then it kind of starts to really feel like you're riding a boat under your feet. But I think if you just go for a wider board, you may notice it for the first like week, and then it'll change after that. Yeah, so I've got another video coming out in the next week or so, and it's going to be I go through the park here at Timberline with talking through my favorite features. So up here in the park, they have like a bunch of like really incredible features. So gonna go through like all my favorite features in the park. It's just really good for progression, having like a good amount of features, especially ones that are a wide range from like easy features all the way through to like some advanced and expert ones. And Timberline definitely has like the full gambit of feature types. Justin Visey saying Ryan Napton knows all about those wide boards. Yeah, he rides like insanely wide boards. Those ones are next level for carving. Wilderness and Wilderness. How's the K2 excavator and slush? Yeah, the K2s and slush are like really, or sorry, the excavator and slush is pretty solid. Yeah, I'm gonna have to ride it in the slush one day. I'm gonna do a review on that board, so I'll be doing part of the review in slush. So I'll definitely let you know. But yeah, it handles really well. It's got the camber towards the tail. It's got the rockered out nose. So I think a really good slush board. It's wider as well. You need like, through slush, you want something that's a bit wider and something that's a little bit stiffer as well. So the excavator has both of that.
What the hell? We get like a half a hit off that image.
Light, it's gone.
I have like 4 of them. Like, God damn it. They're really cute.
Yeah, let me know as well, guys. So does anybody have any spring, summer snowboard plans? If you're in the southern hemisphere, if you have any plans for your winter coming, I know if you're like in New Zealand, Chile, Argentina, Australia, you guys are just coming into winter. So yeah, definitely let me know if you guys have any trips planned and where you're going. If you're in the northern hemisphere, I know like, yeah, still some places open in North America. So here at Mount Hood is open, like Timberline. Also, I know Mammoth is still open, Mount Bachelor. I think in Utah, we've got a few places still open, like Brighton, maybe Snowboard. I think in Colorado, there's still quite a bit open. So a lot of places in North America. And then Europe is a whole different game with things open. So if you guys are over in Europe, if you have any summer snowboarding plans in Europe, it'd be great to hear what your plans are. And yeah, how you're getting ready for that. Justin says, don't ride switch with the excavator. Yeah, I mean, you can. It's not like super dangerous, but definitely the nose or the tail is isn't a full proper tail. Oh, Deceitful Destiny says Mammoth next week. Awesome. Mammoth is going to be super fun. Wilderness saying, sweet, picked up a 162 excavator from your recommendation. Going to take it to Arizona Snow Bowl tomorrow. Awesome. So Snow Bowl is still open too. Yeah, let us know. Maybe leave us a comment. Let us know how you find it in the slush at Snow Bowl. David says that Killington is barely still open. Okay, that's pretty cool. Carrie Pierce, nothing too much planned yet, but we'll be heading to Perisher for opening weekend. Oh, Luke is heading to Perisher for opening weekend. That's awesome, man. The Emperor is saying practicing wakeboarding and longboarding until November. Then I'll be going all over the northeast day trips. Awesome. Deceitful Destiny wants to know, how long have you known TJ? So I think I've known TJ for like 7 or 8 years now. I think like 2015 maybe. I think we met in like 2015. But yeah, he first started coming out to Whistler with our mutual friend Garrett. So he came out for a few summers to Whistler. That's how we became friends and started filming together. And then I think it was 2016 or 2017 is when he started making the board reviews here on Snowboard Pro Camp. So he was doing like board reviews for ages, and then he moved to Whistler, and yeah, just had some incredible years riding with TJ, and yeah, getting to see him in a couple weeks down in Mammoth. So looking forward to that. So yeah, we've been friends now for like 8 years maybe. Time flies. Time goes by so quick. Grant saying, I didn't realize so many places were still open in the U.S. Yeah, lots of places. I mean, I think I've missed a few as well. I think Palisades is still open in Tahoe. Yeah, I'm sure there's places that I've missed. So yeah, just incredible. The West Coast has just gotten so much snow over the last like 6 months that it's allowed a lot of places to stay open. Hudson says, is it possible to climb small mountains around me and snowboard down? I mean, anything is possible, but you just want to make sure you're doing it safe. You're going up with friends and you've got the proper gear and knowledge to do it safely. But yeah, I mean, it kind of depends on your experience level, and yeah, I just want to do it the safest way possible. Kay says, I would definitely love to see a video covering the pond skim at Mount Bachelor. Well, if you're saying there's like a pond skim thing going down on the 28th, then I may have to go and make that video. That'd be super fun. Tony's on here. Tony Huerta says, yo, nothing like these Mount Hood spring laps. Yeah, so actually I've been seeing Tony up on the mountain a bunch the last few days, getting after it. So yeah, Tony, thanks for hopping on the chat. Yeah, definitely nothing like it. It's a whole unique thing. Yotam says, would you recommend Jones boards? Absolutely. Yeah, I'd love the Ultra Mind Expander. Love the Jones Stormwolf. Yeah, I mean, they make like really good. I feel like their specialty is those like is powder snowboards, like free ride snowboards that you can take into the POW. I feel like that's the Jones specialty. Juanma says Burton Custom. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Burton boards, mainly because of the channel system. I don't really like the EST system that Burton has. I've had too many experiences with the channel system moving around, so I haven't been on a Burton snowboard in quite a while. But I mean, in terms of like the quality of Burton boards, I think they're really good quality. I think the custom is good. You got like two versions of the custom, the Flying V and the camber version. I'd definitely go with the camber version if you do go for the custom. But yeah, haven't ridden a Burton for a while because of the EST system. The Emperors, how do you load the camber? I mean, you can load camber just by pushing on your board. So you can either around a turn, so if you're coming around a heel or toe turn, just by like, it's kind of like the opposite. So when you stand up, when you're crouch down and you stand up straight, that like standing up motion puts pressure on your board. And so through a turn, that's how you can like load up the camber, load up some pressure, and then it's going to give it back to you and kind of like shoot you out of the turn. You can also do it with an ollie, so bending down towards the tail of your board, like bending that back leg, and then when you straighten it up, it puts pressure into your tail, and that's going to generate a lot of energy, and that's what can create the pressure to kind of like ollie you up into the air. So a few different ways to load up the camber. Oh, got like a bug landed on my neck. Sonic the Cat says, "Yo, Kev, do you reckon you're going to shred down under this year?" Yeah, so kind of keeping the options open. Might make it down to Australia. Got a bunch of like friends on the channel here that I'd love to like go down and ride with. So yeah, we'll see. So far, I'm going to be around Mount Hood at least until kind of towards the end of July. But yeah, we'll see what happens like August, September, October. Might be down south. Ricky says definitely should come back to Oz. Yeah, some really good resorts down there. I think my favorite so far has been Perisher, but I know there's like other places I still need to explore. Deceitful Destiny, how many times have you been heliboarding? Have a favorite time? So I've been heliboarding twice now. Once with Whistler Heli, like Whistler Heli, and that was incredible. It was like a sunny day. There was a group of 4 of us in the helicopter, and yeah, I mean, it was just perfect conditions, like powder, sun, good crew, and I think we did like six or 7 laps in the heli, and that was really incredible. The terrain was like difficult, but not like overly hard. Just some like steep blues. Some of it was like kind of like black diamond conditions. You don't go into like really technical terrain because that's when you can get like avalanches and stuff. So the terrain in Whistler was really fun terrain, like really interesting terrain. If you've seen the video, yeah, just some really cool stuff that the Whistler Heli area takes you to, and then doing it with like a good group of friends too is fun. The second time I went heliboarding was in Alaska, and what is it called, with the Chugach. I did it with the Chugach heli guides. I think that's what it's called, and yeah, that place was incredible as well. I feel like the day that we did it in Alaska, like the day started out a bit cloudy, and it was actually maybe not even going to happen because of the clouds and everything like that. If it's too cloudy, they can't do it. So it was a little bit iffy if we were actually going to get up that day. And so we did finally get up. Yeah, again, we had like a good group of friends with us. The thing about the Alaska Heli one is that our guide was like we had like a really cool guide. So that kind of made it a little bit better. And I mean, in terms of terrain, it was pretty similar, Alaska and Whistler. I would, the day that we went, I would maybe give like the snow conditions a little, like the edge to Alaska. It was definitely, I think, deeper snow. But in terms of terrain, the terrain was pretty similar. Yeah, in terms of like, I would say like it's hard to like compare the terrain, but just being up in the mountains in Alaska was insane. The views were incredible. Whistler and Alaska both had incredible views. Maybe the Alaska views were like slightly better, but I think our guide was kind of more fun. We had like a more fun guide in Alaska. So yeah, I think if I were to do another one, I'd maybe want to go back up to Alaska over doing it in Whistler. But I mean, both were really incredible experiences. Highly recommend it if you can pull it off. It is like a little bit of money. It's like probably between $1,200 to $1,500 to do it. So, but like it's that one of those like once in a lifetime kind of trips that I think you got to do. Robert Fowler says, good morning from the Gold Coast, listening from the Starbucks drive-through. Awesome, man. The Starbucks drive-through in Australia. Nice, love it. Are you in the Gold Coast? What are you doing in the Gold Coast? Do you have some plans this weekend? Oh, Luke Hayes says, no Dutch bros. Man, I got to get some Dutch bros on the way home today. Yo, Kevin Anderson is on the chat too. Yeah, I got to ride with Kevin today up at Timberline here. Had some really fun laps up with Kevin. And yeah, he said fun riding today at Hood. Yeah, it's so cool up here, just meeting people from all over the place. I think Kevin's down from Vermont, and yeah, getting his like snowboard spring fix in. So yeah, Kevin, good riding with you today, man. Sonic the Cat, are you gonna meet up with TJ and David Jones soon? So TJ, shortly, you're gonna see him in Mammoth, and then David Jones, hopefully see him in New Zealand, maybe in like September, October. David's like become like a world traveler all over the place. He's been to Bali like 15 times in the last year. So hopefully he'll meet up with me in New Zealand. Oh. Michael's saying sunburn is a real thing on the mountain. It is, yeah. You really need to like be careful with the sunburn for sure. The Emperors, how much is heli boarding on average? I think on average it's probably around $1,200. Kind of depends on where you're doing it. So I think in Canada it was like 1,200 or 1,300 Canadian. Maybe it was more. Maybe it was 1,500 Canadian. And in Alaska, I think it was like 1,200 American. Oh, In Motion says about 1.2K at least, I think. Okay, who are some steezy snowboarders to keep an eye on? Really only familiar with Zeb. I mean, some up and comers. Luke Winkleman is a pretty incredible snowboarder. I think like he's gonna be recognized as one of the best in the world. Man, yeah. I mean, I don't really follow like competitive snowboarders too much, but Marcus Cleveland is pretty creative and unique. Yeah. Canadian guy Seb Toots, he's pretty creative as well. Max Perot, those guys. Mark McMorris, Craig McMorris, but yeah, the list goes on. Tons and tons of really creative riders. In Motion says, keep an eye out for Torstein. He shreds, edits, and makes great music. Yeah, he's a snowboarder to keep an eye on for sure. Jordan says, yo, Kevin, how's the snow up there? Going to be riding at T-Line on Sunday and Monday. Awesome, Jordan. I'll see you up here. Yeah, snow's been good. It's kind of like been a mix. Mostly warm, sunny days like this, slushy snow. It's been great. I mean, usually earlier in the morning, it's a bit firmer, and then by the time the end of the day comes around, it does get pretty slushy, but it's super fun. Yeah, Michael saying Meadows is steep and feels opposite to T-Line's Rockin' Parks. Yeah, T-Line is definitely more mellow, but that's what makes it so good for the park. Kevin Anderson, how does backcountry snowmobile tour riding compared to the heli riding in Whistler? Yeah, it's really like totally different. Like on a heli day, it's like you can be just like super lazy. It's like the helicopter is just flying you up to the spot and you're able to ride. So you're getting a lot more laps in with the helicopter. and it's like way less work. Where like with the snowmobile, especially like for me, I was just like that. I've only been snowmobile touring properly in the Alpine once, and there's a lot of work riding the snowmobile, getting used to that, and it does definitely gets you to some really good spots, but more challenging for sure. It's I mean, I guess it's faster and easier than just doing the like split boarding, so you can get more laps in than just a straight split board, but for sure it's harder than heli boarding. I think you can like rent. I think you can rent like snowmobile setups, but yeah, there's like the learning curve as well to learning how to ride the snowmobile. Deceitful Destiny. What is it about Japan snow that makes it so good? Yeah, it's just super light. I think it just comes off of the ocean there, or the sea, and it comes off, and it's the temperature's cold, so you, like with cold temperatures, it just brings like that light and cold snow. So yeah, it's just I don't know exactly all the factors that go into making this like why it's so cold there and why the snow is so light, but everything comes together for just the best snow. It's definitely the best snow in Japan. Oh, and we got a super chat from Anthony Perez. Awesome, Anthony. Thanks for the support, brother. Yeah, I really appreciate it. Yeah, a quick reminder, if anyone wants to join the bonus chat right after this one, just hit that join button, become a member. You get lots of special perks. There's a whole list of things, some members only stuff, and you get access to the members only chat where we do get a little bit more spicy over there, a little bit talk about a different range of topics. So if you want to come for the bonus chat, just hit that join button. The Emperor is Kevin, representing Ice Coast. I'm definitely not. Maybe you may be representing the Ice Coast, but I guess I did learn to snowboard on the Ice Coast. I grew up near Toronto, riding some small hills over there. So I was my first 3 or 4 years of riding were all on the Ice Coast. 504 says getting back into snowboarding after approximately 15-year hiatus. I have knee pain, anterior pain, kneecap. Any advice for strengthening or avoiding further injury? Yeah, I mean, it's tough because everyone's things are so different, so unique. I would just say maybe look into some physiotherapy stuff. If you can get somebody to give you like a set of exercises or stretches that you can do to kind of help with that knee pain, I think that can be important. And just like having some kind of regular either exercise or just like outdoor routine where you're like, you're moving your knees, you're moving your body, and just being like active. I think the more active that you can be outside of snowboarding, then it really does help when you go to ride. So for me, like I do hikes in the summer. When I'm not snowboarding, I'll be doing hikes, walks, nothing really too crazy because I don't want to hurt myself when I'm not snowboarding, but yeah, I mean, just like vigorous hikes, maybe like I do exercise routines like if I'm just at home, and so some exercise routines, some movement stuff, some stretching with movement as well. I find that really helps. So all those things kind of go into, I think, just keeping you more kind of limber and like just feeling good and athletic. All right, Henry, hi mate from the UK. Hard to go snowboarding consistently from here, going in January, and want to spend some decent time in the terrain park. New to the park, so what is the first trick to try? So the first couple of tricks you want to try, like just on jumps, you can get some grabs going, nose, tail, indie grab. Just get a few grabs going. Then once you get those, maybe practice your switch riding. And once you're decent at switch, you can start doing some 180s, front side, back side. And then when you're ready to, go into maybe like a box, do some just like riding on straight on a box, 50-50. And then you can start to twist your board when you're on the box. So starting to twist and get some board slides. So I would just like work on all those and just take it slow. Take it like as you feel comfortable, one trick at a time. Michael says the level of talent at Spring is pretty insane. Absolutely. Robert says, hey Kevin, hope you're all good. Coming back to Canada next year. We'll be in Calgary. Where should I definitely go for the best boarding? From Calgary, I mean, yeah, some of my favorite places in BC, I think Fernie is really good. Whitewater is maybe my favorite that I've ridden in the interior. I would say Whitewater. Whitewater number 1, maybe Revelstoke number 2, Fernie number 3 for interior BC. And then, yeah, I'll stick to those 3. Henry saying, I picked up snowboarding pretty quickly. Oh, that's awesome. Good to hear. Michael says, I think Meadows does a pond skim at the end of the season. Yeah, I think like when I first got here, like I got here on like the day that Meadows closed. So I think they had one like April 29th or April 30th. I think they had a pond skim the last day. Hudson says, are pond skims hard? Actually, pond skims are pretty mellow. Just come into it with enough speed so that you know you're going to get across. And then it's about kind of getting your weight back, because you don't want what can happen is your nose can like catch and you can go forward into the water. So you just want to get your weight onto your tail and kind of just cruise across with your weight on your tail. So enough speed and your weight back on your tail. Shout out to NGen for answering lots of questions on the chat as well. Appreciate it, man. Henry says, trying to convince my wife to move to Canada. Any tips? Yeah, I mean, find out what your wife likes to do, like hobbies, whatever, her hobbies are. And then find a place in Canada where you can do both of your hobbies. So for snowboarding, and, if she's into like, I don't know, what would your wife be into? Like whatever kind of hobby she's into, just try to find that town that has that thing that she might be into. And yeah, maybe that'll convince her. Kevin, have you been to Sunshine Village? Holy Bully looks awesome there this spring. I have been to Sunshine Village. I wasn't like, to be honest, I didn't really like it. I didn't like riding there. I found that the flow of the mountain, it was like kind of like really steep and then it really flattened out, so not great for snowboarders. I kind of see why they have Holy Bully there, because it is quite flat in the terrain park. I'm sure Holy Bully is super fun, but for me, I wasn't a big fan of Sunshine Village. Yeah, maybe I'll have to go back and check it out when they got the Holy Bully going again at some point. Ashek says, hey Kevin, beginner here, bought the Yes Basic, was wondering what bindings to go with it. Now IPO, Union STR, or what do you suggest? Thanks. The Yes Basic, yeah, I mean, I would just go with a entry level binding. So, I mean, it's hard to choose between those two. Both are pretty solid, so I would just go with your gut. Yeah, Deceitful Destiny, thanks for dropping in. Henry says she likes walking and hiking, but we have a miniature dachshund who doesn't like the rain, let alone snow. Oh, that's awesome, Henry. I have a miniature dachshund as well. I mean, so for hiking, walking and hiking, Canada has that, like some of the best hikes in the world. So maybe do some research, find some good trails. I know like Whistler has just tons and tons of hiking trails. So if you can find a place, I mean, most mountain towns in BC and around there, they're gonna also have world-class hikes. So maybe visit one of those places, take her on a hike, and then see if you can convince her to move. The Emperor says, get her addicted to snowboarding, force her to snowboard. That won't work. Oh, Tony says, I got a standard size dachshund. Oh, awesome, Tony. You got the standard. Yeah, my guy's a mini. He's like 11 pounds. Awesome. Thanks everyone for hopping on the live chat. Big shout out to the super chat, $1.99. Really appreciate it. Who is that from again? From Anthony Perez. Yeah, I really appreciate it. Yeah, if you guys want to come over for the bonus chat, I'm going to go for like another half hour or so over on the bonus side. Just hit that join button, become a member. I think there's 2 tiers. There's like a $20, $15 tier and a $5 tier. So the $5 tier does get you access to the bonus chat and some other things. But yeah, thank you guys for being on here. If you haven't yet, definitely subscribe to Snowboard Pro Camp. Hit that like button. Also hit the bell to get notified every time I go live. And yeah, I got a few videos coming out this week for you guys. Also, I'll put links to the High Cascade Summer Snowboard Camp. So if you want to come up here snowboarding this summer, I'm collaborating with the camp, so you can come snowboard with me, be in a YouTube video, get some one-on-one coaching, all that kind of stuff. So I'll put links to that in the description as well. But yeah, thanks for hopping on, guys. Have a good weekend, and talk to you next Friday. All right, peace.